Hey everyone, in this video I am going to show you how to create a plissé effect in Adobe Illustrator using the blend tool. So here on the left I have a lame or a plissé skirt from Miu Miu. I'm going to show you how to create this skirt using a very simple tool. So first we want to get the silhouette of the skirt drawn on our croquis. I'm going to start by using a simple rectangle shape. So I'm going to my rectangle, and I'm just going to draw a rectangle here on my croquis. Let me make sure I get a stroke color here. So I'm going to use a brighter color for us to see. I'll use red for now. And I'm going to use a light gray fill. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to widen the skirt at the bottom to create the flare. So to do this, I'm going to select both points at the bottom here with my direct select tool. And I'm going to go to the scale tool in our toolbar, and I am going to click and I'm going to drag this open so it's giving the flare now. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the same for the waistband. I'm going to make sure that this is scaled in at the waist. And then finally, I want to make sure this is centered with my croquis. So usually you'll want to start with a guide drawn out, but I'm going to draw my guideline out to the center of my croquis, and I'm going to make sure that this shape is there. Now I can go ahead and shorten this a little bit, and I want to add a curve at the bottom. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and use my anchor point tool, and I'm going to curve the bottom. And I also want to curve on the side, so I'm going to curve this right side for now. So I have this curve on the right side, but it will be impossible for me to get the exact curve on the left side. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this piece in half and join it back together so that the right and left sides are symmetric. So I will go to my scissors tool inside the eraser tool. Shortcut is C. I will cut at this top center, and then I will scroll down and cut at the bottom center, and I will remove. Now I'm going to go ahead and reflect this, so I'll select with my black arrow and go to the reflect tool, which is O on our keyboard. We are going to hover over our center guideline, holding down Option and clicking and releasing. We'll do a vertical copy. And now both sides are the same, and I just need to join them back up together. So I select the open sides, and I'll right click and join, and I'll right click and join one more time. And it should be one path now. All right, so here I have the basic silhouette of my skirt. I can go ahead and draw my waistband right now. So we'll go ahead and use a rectangle tool. We can curve our waistband slightly using the anchor point tool, or we can go up here to our warp tools. So select our object, effect, warp, and arc, and just a small horizontal bend towards the left. We can create a very subtle smile with our waistband. Once you apply an effect, you will need to expand the appearance to make it permanent and to permanently change the path. So let's go Object, Expand. And then you'll just want to make sure you line everything up correctly. So we have our waistband and we have our skirt shape. Okay, so now the important part of this tutorial, which is creating these plissé lines. Now you see on the left here, there are a lot of lines. I could count, and we could try drawing these one by one, but that would take a really, really long time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this tool called the blend tool to create these lines. So first I want to copy and paste this segment on the right side. I'll select this segment, I'll copy and paste in place. And because it's the same color, it's hard to see, so I'll change the stroke color. And then I'll remove the fill color. I'm going to do it again on the left side. I'm selecting this left segment, copy, and then edit, paste in place. And we can use our eyedropper tool to get the stroke of dark blue and no fill. We're going to add a few other lines to guide our blend tool. So I'm going to add one at the center. So I'll turn my guide back on and I'll draw a center line going up. And then I see here in my photo, the pleats are a little wider at the edges, and then they're a little more fine in the middle. So I'll add another line, you know, like a third of the way through, 1/2 of it. So I'll add a line here. I'll just copy this, and then I will adjust, and then I'll reflect it to the other side using O. Hold down Option, click, and copy. Now I have a few paths to guide my blend tool. So first we're going to blend from this right side to this first drape line. So I'm going to select these two, and I think I want to have like 1, 2, maybe 3 lines in between. So I'm going to go to Object, Blend, and go to our blend options. And I want to select down specified steps. So I'm going to choose 3 steps for this. And now I want to make that blend mode happen. So I'll go to Object, Blend, and Make. And it puts those 3 steps right there. Now I'll do it on the left side. I'll go to Object, Blend, and Make. It's having a difficult time on the left side, and I'm not sure why. So what I'll do is I'll just focus on getting the right side done, and then we can reflect over. So then now that we have this first blend mode created, I'm going to go ahead and expand the appearance of this so that I can do the blend mode again using these lines. So let's go to Object, Expand, and we'll click OK. And now each of these lines are there in our document, and I can select each of them. Now I want to blend from here to the center. So let's go here, and I'll hold Shift and select the center line. Now that these are selected with my black arrow, I'll go to Object, Blend, and I'll go to the blend options. We need more than 3 steps here. I'm going to try 15 and see what that looks like. And I'll click OK. Now I'll go to Object, Blend, and Make. And that's looking pretty dense right there. This is looking like plissé lines. Now let's compare this to our drawing. I look at the drawing and I do see that it's more dense in the center and a little wider on the outside. But this is still feeling a little unnatural to me. So I think I'll take a step back and maybe change the density to like 12, just to give it a little more space. So let's go to Object, Blend, Blend Options. We'll go with 12. And we'll go to Object, Blend, Make. And that's feeling a little more natural to me. So I'm just going to delete these lines over here. And I'm going to select these lines on the right side. So let's expand one more time. And now we're going to reflect this over our axis point. We'll go to O. We'll hover over the center. And we'll copy. Now, the only thing we need to remember is that there are going to be 2 lines on the center, so I'll have to delete one of them. And now I have the plissé line. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my waistband forward. Now we need to work on this bottom edge. I suggest locking down the plissé lines for now and leaving your skirt unlocked. So I'm going to lock down the plissé lines that I have selected, but my skirt is not selected. It's not locked down. And with my pen tool, I'm going to go ahead and add little anchor points on the line of my skirt. So I'm just adding points where each of these plissé lines are meeting. And once I have this done, I'm going to go ahead and use my white arrow to create a zigzag effect using these lines. Okay, so now I have all of my points, and I can zoom in now and use my white arrow, grab these points, pull them out to create this plissé effect. If you are finding that it's curving and you want it to be more jagged, what you can do is remove the handlebars with your anchor point tool. So I'm going in and I'm just every other point, I'm pulling it down, making sure there's no curve so it has like a jagged effect. And I'll do this throughout the skirt, and then I'll go ahead and make adjustments to my plissé lines so that they meet the bottom curve of the skirt. So now the hem of my skirt is zigging and zagging just the way I want. And now I just need to bring the plissé lines to meet the corner. You can see some places it's overlapping the bottom hemline and some places it's like falling a little short. I'm going to unlock these lines and make those adjustments with my direct select tool. So with my white arrow, I'll zoom in, grab this point, grab this and bring it down. Now it looks like it has already expanded these to be rectangles. Ideally, I'd like them to still be lines. I guess that was just for the first few that I did because I expanded it twice. Those got turned into rectangles. So you just want to be careful if you're expanding several times. You might expand it a little further than you'd like. So after I do this, I'm going to go ahead and turn everything into a black stroke with a gray fill so we can take a look at our garment. Let's take a look at what we've created. Here on the left, we have our original inspiration, and on the right, we have our drawing using our blend tool.